Hey everybody, welcome back. Quick little midweek video. Actually, I guess it's not midweek, it's Friday. But anyway, been having a lot of inquiries on what's going on with the Pro Street Shadow build. It is just about done, so I wanted to give a quick update on that. We got the wiring complete, well, minus the tail light, because I still have to finish making it. And the other reason for this is I'm getting ready to make a custom throttle cable. And I see a lot of people always trying to figure out throttle cable setups on custom bars, you know, either short or long or whatever. And so I just wanted to hop on here, show you how we make them. It's a very simple process. The parts can be bought relatively inexpensively. And then you can make the throttle cables fit your bike exactly how you want, as opposed to just getting one that's, you know, a little too short or a little too long, or having to route it goofy and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's what we're doing today. Probably won't be a very long video. We're going to make this cable, give you a quick update on the bike, and we're going to get out of here. Alright guys, so we need a 2-into-1 cable on this bike. So this is a universal 2-into-1 cable. It's got a splitter. One cable obviously up to the throttle grip, and the two cables will split off to our two carbs. So, of course, the first thing to do is lay the cable in the bike, so you can get, you know, figure out how much length you're going to need on the outer sleeve. Just lay it in here. Get ourselves a mark. I'm going to pop this outer sleeve off. Grab some side cutters and we'll snip that off. Alright, so we got that cut off. I'm going to go ahead and slide the outer sleeve back inside the inner. Get the outer mounted up. We're using these old PMFR drag bike grips. It's what I used to run on my Outlaw Pro Street bike. I just really like the look of them. I think they're great for custom bikes. They're all machined aluminum. The cable routing is all external, which to me has got a really cool look. They're fully adjustable with all these little screw stops, so we're gonna have to get that screw out of here, get this screw out of here, and get this all set up to our position we want. All right. So next thing we got to do, we've got our inner cable sleeve, which is what we're going to need to cut to solder our end on. We want to figure out exactly where we want the end to be so we can cut the cable off. To that length. So it's going to go in this notch in the throttle. So we get that into place where it's going to be. And get ourselves a mark. Get my measurement. I always err a little bit long. Can always take up the slack. But once it's cut off too short, you're kind of SOL. So this particular cable kit comes with these little brass ends that solder on. You can also buy these in bulk. Motion Pro makes a pretty large builder kit. Gives you a wide variety. I take a little paste flux. Just kind of dip the end in there. Get our little mini torch and some solder. Alright, once you got your end on, you can slip it into your whatever type of grip you happen to have. So you can see there, we got our return. I'm going to go ahead and put our screws in. Alright, so next up is basically the same thing, but on the carburetor side. So we have our two carburetors here. To assemble these, you normally have to take them apart to some degree. This one, the cable will go down here, lock in this little hole in the slide. If we could get it to focus. Anyway, and then this plastic spring retainer drops on there and locks the cable in so it can't fall out on you. These are a little bit trickier to determine the length of inner cable. So first we're going to get the outer cable cut down to where we want. So I'm going to just pull that off, pop it on here. Then we got our little 90-degree fitting on the carburetor, and we'll get that cut off. Okay, so again, I'm going to err on the side of a little long. Snip this off. Put our carburetor gasket back in place. What I'm going to do is do the first carburetor. Whenever you're doing a multi-carburetor setup, do the first carburetor. If you need to make any adjustments, you can make your adjustments. Then you can get a measurement of the cable poke out and nail the second one the first time around.
Oh, I knew it had a bee in it.
Alright, so we got this all hooked up. Last thing we have to do, you can see the carbs are open at a slightly different time. So we'll do our fine adjustment on the cable here to kind of snug that up and get our carbs synced. Looking pretty close there. Need to lube these slides. These are some cheap Chinese reproduction carbs. I'm really not sure how they're going to work. They look okay, but the finished machining is not the greatest. I may end up needing to pop them apart and deburr them and stuff, but for now, we got what we were after. We got our 2-in-1 throttle cable hooked up. Carbs are pretty synced and snapping back like we want. Alright guys, so just a quick overview. We got all our wiring done, minus the tail light, pigtail which hanging back here. Once we build our tail light, that'll go on. Wanted to show something else too. We got our little fuse box. Let me move this camera up here so you can see it. So this fuse box is really cool. It lights up blue lights on all the circuits, and then if you get a fuse pop that turns red, so you know you need to go in there and change your fuse. The other thing, which I had never seen before, so I don't know how many people have, is it takes these low profile blade fuses. So it's like a standard mini blade fuse, but the prongs are cut off and it goes up into the sides of the fuse. So kind of a neat little fuse for a low profile fit. Hadn't seen that before. So that's it. Wiring's all done. You know, I got our on-off switch. Motor cranks. And that's about it. We're ready to put the final body work on and put some fuel in this thing and see if it'll run. Still need to route the brake lines, a couple other little things, but overall everything's just about done on it. Nicole's about to cry because she wasn't on the video.
And Tony ran away.
Hey, it's your video.
No.
Tell him something important, Nicole.
It was our video.
Tell him something important.
I have nothing important to say.
Ever?
Ever. Nothing. Ever.
Zoomed right in. We could see right up Nicole's nostrils.
I bet you did, as far as you could go, too.
Zoomed right in. Let's see if she's got any blackheads.
Do I?
All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Just a quick one. Making custom throttle cables and a quick overview of this bike. Hopefully the next video of it will be down on the ground outside so we can really get some cool shots of it and hear how this thing sounds and see how it rides. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you next time at Gatti's Garage.